Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. This morning we have two non-website blended whiskeys. What I mean is you can look it up. You're not on a website for them. For Albertsons, you won't find anything. Okay, nice brown, gold, and white label, gold band. I think this has no age statement. I'm almost certain. Yeah, it's 80. Oh, they're both 80-20 blends. I'll put that in the notes if I remember later. I'm getting a late start because I had a late start this morning. I was trying to go to sleep early. It was dark, dark. I tell people if it's dark, don't call me or text me. So of course they call and text, and then I couldn't get back to sleep for hours, like misery, just laying there for 4 or 5 hours. I need to get better friends. The ones I've got aren't too reliable or considerate, but I think I could become ruthless in a way. Like I can start, like if I wake up, because they're not going to call me every night, so I could get to sleep early. So if I'm up at 2:45 or 3, I just text them, call them, hey, what's up? And they'll say, what the hell are you doing? I'm sleeping. It's the middle of the night. I'll say, so, feel like talking, I'm not concerned about your well-being. It really doesn't matter to me. So if I can develop a more ruthless attitude in life, I think I could. You say, well, they won't be your friends anymore. But then I could get better friends, like I'm trying to say. But anyway, going on to this, 80 proof. It's 80-20 blend, meaning it's 80% grain spirits, 20% straight whiskey. The straight whiskey is aged at least 4 years. And then it's blended with grain neutral spirits, which is corn liquor, basically. What people call moonshine, clear, odorless, colorless. Grain alcohol, like the people have been going around buying it. They've been buying it during this hobgoblin crisis, the hobgoblin, and and they buying Everclear, which is grain spirits, but it's uncut. So the Everclear is 190 proof. It's like $15. They're gonna wash the hands with $15 hand sanitizer, right? And but they don't realize they could buy diesel, which is the same thing from Sazerac. And I bet if I went to Mathern's, they'd still have diesel on the shelf, because people are very ignorant and stupid and have no brains. Like going back to me saying people calling me after it gets dark. I've said, don't call me when it's dark. Yeah, but I wanted to tell you about a show on TV with comic books. I recorded it for you. I'm like, okay, I have comic books. I don't really want to be woken up at night to hear you tell me about a show about comic books. And then after waking me up to tell me, oh, I accidentally deleted it. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm really sorry that you woke me up to tell me this inconsequential thing. Now, if your house is on fire, you could call me, and that's a worthwhile thing. Or if somebody died, but then they're dead. So if you call me, it's not going to make them come back to life. You could tell me in the morning. But anyway, people are very stupid, and they'll say, I ain't buying diesel. I want to buy Everclear because that's going to kill the virus, which is going to destroy the world because 82 people died, and even though the flu killed 18,000 in a bad year. But I pay no mind to the flu because I got no brain. Okay, so, but what they're doing is they're taking like Everclear, they're cutting it with water or diesel, say Sazerac, a diesel brand. They're taking the grain spirits, they're cutting it with water and bringing it down, just tap water, faucet water, whatever you want to call it, bringing it down to 80 proof, and then they're blending it with the 4-year age Kentucky whiskey here. Now, is it a top Kentucky brand? Come on. You know how much this was at Albertsons? $4.99 on a closeout sale. I don't see this anymore at Albertsons. I think they replaced it with 75 South because, Albertsons became a big chain associated with Super Value, Amigos, Jewel Osco, and all these stores. So they wanted a brand that could be sold across the grocery chains, right? It makes sense. We'll get to Albertsons rum later. That's a different situation. Now here is the Kentucky Beau, which is like a French word meaning your boyfriend. True story. So Kentucky Beau, Kentucky boyfriend, with horseshoes, 4 medallions, some little frills, see the little gold frills. I don't know why somebody just went like with a paint brush. This is age 3 years, and it's got some weird thing here. I don't know what that is. And it's 80-20 blend. So same story. If I'm going to do Canadian whiskey next. Which is the same concept. And then I have a Scotch whiskey coming up blended. And then I do these mixed beer concoction drinks, right? Like I just posted this morning, the Citrus Rush from Monaco. And they do the same thing. Take the base alcohol, odorless, colorless. So you want it to be odorless and colorless, because then you build the flavor you want on it with the natural flavorings with the Monaco, or the single malt whiskeys with the blended Scotch. Okay, this is the end, my only friend, the end, says JBD. Now, Maxwell says, good morning, Ron. Hello, Maxwell, you in the Russian Federation. You might have noticed that the Russian Federation has not been dealing with the hobgoblin much. There's few cases of the hobgoblin, but they have a more sensible president, you know, a better governmental system, I think. And so over in Russia, the nationalists control the country, and they don't let these conspiratorial groups control them. And so they tried to do it. You know, the Western democracies tried to undermine Russia with infiltrators like Pussy Riot and stuff like that. But the Russians put the hammer down on them. You know, they could see this. We know about these conspiracies. You know, we were able to deal with them with a very ruthless. I'm talking about being ruthless in a very ruthless manner, which has to be done. If one is ill, one must combat the virus, right? But I mean a real virus, and that would be like social poison, would be a real virus, not a hobgoblin like we're dealing with here. But anyway. So let's see if these are going to be different. I'm drinking coffee right now. I didn't get enough sleep. But somehow I'll hammer it through these people's minds that if it's dark, I go to sleep. And then I wake up early, even though it's still dark, 2:45 in the morning sometimes. During regular time, not daylight savings time, I might wake up at 1:30 in the morning, be very well rested. But then they'll lecture me like, well, you go to sleep too early. I say it's strange, you know. I never tell other people what to do, like when they should go to sleep, wake up, what to eat. But some people I know take it upon themselves to give me direction, which was unsolicited. I'm 51 years old and I still have to answer to people. I don't understand that kind of deranged thinking. Like a neighbor, you know, oh, I see somebody came to your house. I'm like, man, you are so nosy. Middle-aged and older women are extremely bad about that. Which is good in a way, because any kind of criminals in the neighborhood, they're probably being watched. I mean, if you walk around here, you're being watched. You know, they're looking to the window. Oh, look, he's a criminal. It could just be somebody trying to sell AT&T service, you know. But they're very into your business, you know. Oh, I see somebody came over. That was a lady. I was like, right. And you, just what you were thinking is exactly what was happening. But it was way better than when you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get resentful like that. You know, it's like, why do you worry about what I do? But my father says old women are like obsessed with sexual liaisons and things like that. He said that's all they think about and that's all they talk about. So it's strange. And they're very buggy about things. Buggy. Just nagging. Okay. And then they asked me about this hobgoblin virus. What do you think's going to happen? Are you worried? Say, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the worry. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about the worry. And the inconvenience. I have selfish reasons to worry about this hobgoblin. All the games I wanted to go to got canceled, you know, to sit out at the baseball stadium. Now, they better hope that the money comes back to me. Now, I'm going to tell the athletic director, I'm going to say, what you can do next year, assuming there is baseball in the future, you can just give me credit for this season. Just send me the new tickets or let me use the ones I have. I still have them in my truck. And you can tear them, you don't have to scan them, and then we're even, no problem. But if he says, well, it was a big emergency, I'm gonna say you're right, a big fake emergency, but he's gonna say, we are not gonna give refunds. I'm gonna say, look, here's your emergency. I was a season ticket holder since 2004. If I don't get that money back, I'll never go to another game. Not on my dime. Somebody else can pay for it. Let them pay for it. I'm not paying for it. You owe me the money. I'm like Nikki in Casino. I think I want my money back. And I'm going to be like Nikki. I'm going to keep hammering, and I'm never going to go away. So be in your best interest to just give me the credit. And if the school isn't going to do it, then you can do it personally out of your own pocket. You're getting paid by the school. It's only $250. You pay for it personally. I'll tell the athletic director that. You can afford $250. You make way more money than me. He might take issue with me saying that. He might take offense to it, but I think it's a very fair offer. And y'all know I always try to be fair. Good fences make good neighbors. Yeah, but people around here are too familiar, you know. I like the people up north in a way because they're very cold and they don't talk to each other much. You know, when I drive up north, sometimes I'll be like, hey, how's it going? They're like, hi, and they'll walk off. And I'm like, wow. Across the Ohio River, these Yankee people are so very, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I have friends who are northerners, but they're very funny like that. You know, they don't want to talk to you because they don't know you. And even if they know you, they probably don't want to talk to you. But down here, you know, everybody's like, hey, how's it going? And I don't mind that. But it's like, it goes on and on, you know. It's like, okay, I get it. Your daughter is going to college. And I'm trying to check out at the store, you know. It's like, I remember people, I used to teach high school, and these people from up north would come here and they would just be so enraged all the time going to the grocery store, you know. Now they got self-checkout, so you can kind of get around that. But they would just say, what's wrong with people around here? You know, I'm trying to check out, and they're talking about, girl, let me tell you, my cousin, she got problems, you know, and it's like, you know, the checkout. And I'm like, amen, because there is a very bad problem. I'm from the South, but live in Vermont. The culture is vastly different. Yeah, no joke. Still raining. Unbelievable. I had a rainstorm last night. I was supposed to cut the grass today. Boy, I cannot get over this. Low chance of rain, but it's been raining. Oh, great. Edge of the yard yesterday. All right, here we go. I think this contest is going to be achievable because my recollection is this. The Heaven Hill, they always have this bad fault where they have this strange, like, honeydew melon flavor and taste. And I don't think that's appropriate for any whiskey, you know? And they have a real strong corn, not corn syrup, but like a corn meal, corn. It's something that's just, it'll make you grind your teeth, you know? And I can't say it's definitively bad or anything. It's just not good. Now, the Sazerac products, you'll notice that they're a little better. Like they might have more wood from the barrel type of thing. And it tastes a little bit more like regular bourbon, like you get more of a bourbon flavor, which I know is heavily corn. I wouldn't want to say it's not. But the bourbon, when you have a straight bourbon, yeah, it's corn, 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 but then it's charred oak, the char, right? So you say a lot of corn, which might be off-putting. I don't even love that either. You know, I said either twice in this sentence. I don't love that either, but it's kind of offset by the heavy char. Whereas with the blended, it's not. It's some other weird, like the honeydew melon, I said. And Heaven Hill admits, and it's probably all the companies, they all do it. Heaven Hill says, well, if we make a straight bourbon and it doesn't come out right some kind of way, we'll just blend it off. That's what the guy said. We'll blend it off. So it could be Elijah Craig, Evan Williams, whatever they're making. If they, you know, they're aging it and they're like, oh no, it came out too sweet or something. They're not throwing it out. You're not going to get a divorce. They're not going to throw it out. They're going to blend it off and make Kentucky Beau or Kentucky Gold or one of the other 1,000 brands they've got, T.W. Samuels. And they say ain't nothing but old drunks drinking it anyway. So who cares what it tastes like? Now you say that's a very caustic attitude. But when you get down to it, it probably really is the attitude. And I'm not even opposed to the attitude because no one buys these things to do what I'm doing anyhow, you see. So you can be very critical. Sazerac, it just seems like it's a little more. Now, if you get a Jim Beam Suntory blended whiskey, it tastes very much like bourbon, like the Beam's 8-star or your maybe the Sunnybrook. Oh, the Kessler's, Julius Kessler blended whiskey. Now that you could trick people with that one and they think it's bourbon. They do a great job with it. So it seems to me that Jim Beam Company, Beam Suntory, is more like they're trying to make blended whiskey on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like it's being crafted on its own merits, like Beam's 8-star. They have a recipe or whatever. And they say, let's take Jim Beam, 2-year-old Jim Beam, and blend it with, okay. So, and then you even go higher than that. You get Seagram 7 Crown, which is sort of your premier American blended whiskey. And that's definitely done on purpose. It's not a cast off. And you will well know that when you taste it. It can actually rival straight bourbon whiskey. Now you might say, Bosh, you're crazy. You're nuts. Go back to sleep. No, I'm not crazy. I'm not nuts. Taste it. It really is well done. It's 75% grain spirits, 25% straight whiskey. That's the king. It's coming. Probably Sunday. That's the king of the blended in America, my experience. Beam, yes. Beam was bought out by Suntory Wine. You know, Suntory whiskey in Japan? Yeah, about 8 years ago, I think. And they cut out a lot of stuff. Some people say they cut the quality. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. It's probably the case. Okay. Here we go with the challenge. Enough ranting and raving, which I'm going to be doing a lot of, I'm sure, during this hobgoblin crisis. Just the whole toilet paper thing makes you realize you don't live, you know, they say America's different. Exception, what do they call it? American exceptionalism. We're different than these other countries. Different how? Right? You tell me how. Okay, this smells, I won't say gamey, but it smells, now my friend David was one of the people waking me up last night. David, what have I told you? Dark, right? Right now it's dark, don't call. But I don't know, it's just like going over his head. But he was telling me, while my blood pressure was going up because I was getting so angry, he was telling me, I'm buying Heaven Hill because they're out of the good whiskey, the good blended whiskey at international market. I said, yeah, well, they changed the name of Heaven Hill, a quality house. They did? I said, yeah, but I mean, they probably have older bottles at international market that don't say quality house. I said, I thought you gave up drinking for Lent. He didn't take that too well. Said it's been a rough Lent. I said, well, and I didn't say anything, did I? I asked a question. I thought you did. I wasn't a judgment assessment. I didn't assess judgment. I just asked a question, which maybe had an implied judgment, of course. So then we got off the phone. He said, I'm going to go drink some Keystone Ice. I said, okay. I should have gotten up and drank some after being woken up. Oh, that's right. I don't have any Keystone Ice. I got Old English 800. I bought 6 bottles, not for hoarding purposes, because they were out of the 15 packs of the Keystone. Oh, this thing here has got to be the Kentucky Beau. I'm going to tell you why. I take a deep inhalation. Do I pick up a lot of wood? Oh, yeah, some old musty, moldy wood like you smell in a rick house. They got that black mold everywhere. But I'm telling you, they got some kind of honeydew melon. But I got to taste them. I mean, these are close. They're close. And people kind of ridicule me, probably justified, but not quite justified. They'll say, you do all these American blended whiskeys and try to talk about how they're different one from another. And they're all the same old junk pile. On the surface, that's true. But when you do what I'm doing, it isn't true. They don't all taste the same. It's like saying all the American beers taste the same. Old Milwaukee, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Budweiser, Miller High Life. It's all the same. It isn't all the same. It's generally the same, but it's specifically not. The thing I can't understand is why people are worrying about it. Like the lady on the television last night, TV, I can't remember what show. She said, if you don't like the show, don't buy the ticket. If it's a problem that I do these blended whiskeys, don't watch. It's not hard to avoid it. People are cheap. My local beer store was sold out just about everything. Managed to get a fresh case of Bell's Two Hearted. I will endeavor to persevere. Good idea. That's a good beer to get stuck with. Okay, so that first sip was not what you would call pleasant. You get candy corn sweetness. I would like to say wood, but there's kind of some wood, like toothpick wood, like a type wood, kind of a, gives you like the frisson. I don't know about that thing. That's the Albertsons was $4.99 and the Kentucky Beau was $6.49. So Albertsons wins on price, even if the taste is different, really, when you think about it. Okay, over here. I got to do some more tasting. Okay. Thing about these is if you can get past the shock of the first sip, then you can kind of start enjoying it, but you just got to get past that shock. You know, it's like, yikes, why did I buy this? You know, you get past that, which is probably a proper way to approach it. All right. This one in my right hand, could be to your left, seems to be a little bit more aged and more bourbon whiskey component to it. I wouldn't want you to get the understanding that this is some great product. Although I think my daughter and I did a duo review. No, I think we did a duo review of the Albertsons brandy. Well, that's a really nice one because it's, well, you know, it's all brandy. It's just all grapes. Wine. What's brandy mean? Burnt wine, in the sense that it's distilled wine, burnt wine, brandy wine, brandy. They call it now brandy. Some of these real cheap brandies, it'll say grain spirits and brandy. It's like, no, I'll never fool with that. That's the real old drunks drink that stuff. I would assume, because It's not even brandy. It's some kind of cut brandy. I'm sure it's a class. I think there's a class of liquor in the U.S. Category list. But I want no part of it. Yeah, you see this one in my left hand has that Funky Monkey Heaven Hill honeydew melon taste. Man, come on. I really need to never buy another one from it. I always know if it's them because it's always going to say the same thing, Bardstown, Kentucky. And it'll have some kind of alias name. You know, you can always tell Heaven Hill is going to have an alias name like Kentucky Beau Distilling Company. Yeah. And it's going to say Bardstown, Kentucky. And anyway, Heaven Hill bottles all look the same. They always have that cylindrical shape. They're straight up and down, just like mellow corn. You ever buy a bottle of mellow corn? It's like straight, where Sazerac has that lip, that telltale lip. Another clue to Sazerac is it's got their number on the phone number on the bottle and an email. It'll say either whatever brand at bartonbrands.com or it'll say at Sazerac.com. And it'll always say, we love to hear from our customers. There you go. You know it's Sazerac. Beam, you'll know it's a Jim Beam product. It'll say Claremont, Kentucky, and what's the other town? Claremont and something else. But you know it always give you two towns because they got two big distilleries. And so then you know that's Beam. I don't care what alias name they use. I'm ready to call it. Yeah, there's a little bit more wood here. Would I recommend either one of these? Depends on your purpose for buying it. If you're doing cheap mixed drinks, yeah, why not? $4.99 for Albertsons, heck yeah, buy it. $6.49 for Kentucky Beau. I don't know about that. I would try to buy the Winn-Dixie straight bourbon whiskey instead. Gonna pay a little bit more, and I mean just a little bit more. But I bet you it's better. It's straight bourbon. I didn't say it was good. I've never tried it. It's probably just ancient age repackaged. I get that feeling. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and it's that Winn-Dixie is ancient age repackaged. $4.99. Wow, that is the cheapest you tried. It's one of the cheapest, yes. I don't think it is actually the cheapest, but it's one of the. Okay, so I'm going to say this is the Kentucky Beau. I knew it wasn't going to be a pleasant experience when I bought it. I said, oh boy, Heaven Hill. I know how this is going to go, and it's going exactly the way I predicted. Oh, well, damnation. It's not the Kentucky Beau. Well, sure, just goes to show you. Here the sirens are probably going after somebody that was in a group of 11 people, more than 10, something like that. Okay, I got it wrong, but anyway, I've gotten it wrong 4 times now with Kentucky Beau. Why is that? Because I don't know how to taste stuff? No, it's because Kentucky Beau is so generic in an unpleasant way that it's just very similar to the other ones that are generic in an unpleasant way. Don't feel bad for me. I put myself in this situation. No one made me buy this stuff. I knew what I was getting into when I bought it. All right. If you're buying a whiskey and it's $4.99, you pretty much know what's coming. All right. So only a fool would buy it and think, oh man, this is going to be so great. But it didn't make me sick, so there's the benefit. So anyway, I got 3 more. Thursday, I got what do I have? Well, I got 2 more Sazerac brands, whatever they are. 75 South. I wanted to do that, but 75 South and I can't remember. It's one of the. I have so many Sazerac brands. Oh, the Barton American Blended Whiskey. It's a pretty label. And the gin and the rum and the vodka and the brandy is all the same label, but different colors. And then Sunday is the Seagram 7 Crown. Oh, that's going to be a blowout. That's going to be a fun one because it's going to destroy Kentucky Beau. And I mean destroy, like Kiss Destroyer, or like our economy being destroyed. Kentucky Beau is your nemesis, it appears. Yeah, but it's by my own design. It's a Frankenstein monster that I created. You know what I'm saying? Like, I created the monster, so I can't really complain about what destruction the monster is wreaking because I created it. You know, I made this taste challenge. This is my concept. And so to get on here and fuss about it is silly. I did it to myself. All right, thanks for watching this video production. And oh boy, got 3 left. Thankfully, only 3.